by Tommy Shepherd MP and seconded by Alison Thewlis MP.
Thank you, Conference. It is my pleasure to propose this resolution and also to ask you to vote for the amendment to it. 1,187 people died from drug-related deaths in our country last year. Most of them died alone behind closed doors in despair and desperation. They were people already on the margins of society, people who it was easy not to see, people who it is easy to forget. But each of them was some mother's son or daughter, somebody's brother or sister, and many of them somebody's mum or dad. And the terrifying tragedy is this, that not only did most of those people not want to die, they didn't need to die. These are deaths that are entirely preventable. And that is why I believe we need to do something about it. We have a health emergency with drugs in this country, but it is a health emergency unlike any other because the substances involved themselves are illegal. And that means that everything we do against the backdrop of the criminal law. And it is now the case, I believe, that that needs to be changed because it is hindering our ability to deal with the problem. It means that users feel stigmatized and will not turn to help. It means that staff are unable to make an intervention for fear of breaking the law. And it means that our law enforcement agencies are focused on the weak and vulnerable at the bottom of the pyramid when they should be going for the organized crime gangs at the top. That is why we need change. Over the last 6 months, I and other colleagues in the Scottish Affairs Select Committee at Westminster have been looking into this problem in detail. And as part of that exercise, we have looked at what other countries do with similar problems. In Portugal, drugs are illegal, but it is exempt for small amounts of possession of controlled substances if you are a user. In Canada, drugs are illegal, but certain facilities are exempt from the law if they apply for a license. And in both these cases, what that means is that people apply for help, that staff are protected when they try to offer help, and that people, when they take the drugs to which they are addicted, they do so under safe medical supervision with the ability to make an intervention to save their lives if something goes wrong. And most of all, it means that the problem is taken out from behind closed doors and brought into the open where something can be done about it and those people can be referred to other agencies to help them stabilize their lives and turn them around. And Conference, it works. In Portugal, drug-related deaths have plummeted while ours has risen. So there is much we need to learn. I don't say that changing the law is a silver bullet. We still need to focus and do more on the causes of drug addiction. We need to tackle the poverty, the isolation, the social disintegration, which blights so many of our communities. And yes, we need more treatment and counselling centres, and I applaud the work of the Scottish Government in this respect. But I do say this, that a change of the law is necessary to keep these people alive long enough for those interventions to be able to be made. That is the fact of the matter. Because at the moment, by the time we get to most of them, they are already dead or dying. And that is why I believe the law should change. This is a small change in the law. It does not require a new Act of Parliament. It requires an enlightened Home Secretary to lift a pen and sign an order. That is what would be required. And that is why, because I want this done immediately, I call upon the British government to make this change and to be enlightened about dealing with this problem. But I say this, if they don't want to do it, then give Scotland the ability to do it instead. Because we will take the steps necessary to provide our communities. And if the British government prefers to put bigotry over evidence, then let Scotland Act give us the power to do it. And conference, I say this in conclusion, I know this will be difficult for many people. And I know the Daily Mail will write headlines and try and miscaricature what we are doing. But doing nothing is not an option. We have to take our heads out of the stand as a country, our fingers out of our ears, and we have to adopt bold, enlightened policies which will stop this cull which is going on in our communities. I move.
Thank you, Tommy. To second the resolution, we have Alison Thulis MP, to be followed by